Wrestling podcast episode, whatever. At this point, there's so many. I I I I honestly was pretty good with the count before, Dan, and I just lost it. I feel like I've been taking too many vacations. That's why I kind of lost the count of the show. But
Well, we can just we can just be like the WWE,
yeah,
and we'll just decide when it's the season premiere.
yeah. What is it? Longest cinematic. Oh, I
That
used to
too.
be able to reiterate the full thing. Longest sports entertainment cinematic storyline event or whatever they used to put on USA. Those were the good times. And I'm waiting for the day that pops up on Netflix too. Once they get through like season one, it's gonna pop up again. I think. Um, but kind kind of a dud for Raw where they were. Would you say, Dan? Obviously, we have some few things to talk about before that. But
Yeah, I mean,
once again,
a
there's
major dud.
yeah. Once again, there's been a lot of outside wrestling news not pertaining to WWE. I would say, right? This from last week to now. Um, I haven't been able to catch up on NXT, but I plan to do that this week. I don't know if you saw any of it, but I know they had their one PLE.
Mhm.
But to talk about the stuff outside of WWE, we had kind of a crazy event happen this past weekend at an indie show, right?
Yeah,
Specifically, the
watched.
promotion that's owned by Rikishi, owned and operated.
Right.
For those that are unaware, um, it involved. I want to get the guy's name right. Uh, Raja Jackson, who, for anyone that doesn't know, is UFC great Rampage Jackson's son, and Psycho Stu. Now, I kind of followed along the full story of this. Basically, It started off as some type of gimmick, whatever. Raja was hit in the head with a beer can, the way that wrestlers get hit in the head with a beer can. So he probably felt a little bit of it. It seems like he felt a more personal about it than he felt probably physically about it. Dan, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really react to it physically when it happened, so I didn't think it was anything,
And you would
you
think
know.
he's a trained UFC fighter. He probably felt worse, right? Like he's probably felt blows to the head that were a lot worse than what that beer can did. I would think, right? On
Right.
training and everything. Um, so I guess that's how this all started. One Psycho Stu apologized. Another guy associated with the promotion, apologies, I don't remember his name. I don't know if it was the manager or somebody that was a wrestler as well, apologized. And while Braja was standing backstage or outside with them, they said, "We're always in gimmick because we're always, pushing the storyline further," right? Which, you know, not to pat myself on the back, but I took a bump at an indie show and I stood right back up, right? Like, I didn't go and, I did hit somebody with a gate in the head later that night, but that's a different story for a different day. Um,
Oh, I'm glad you finally admitted it.
well, Dan, he was in my way. Anyways, so side note, Roger Jackson also streams on Kick. He so does his father stream on Kick. Um, they went out, or the show went on, right? Going through it. Cycle Stu's in the ring doing his thing with the match and everything. Now, I just saw this clip probably about 10 minutes before we started podcasting. There's a clip of Raja Jackson sitting ringside saying he always wanted to beat the shit out of a pro wrestler. He said that's just one thing he always wanted to do. I didn't see that clip till today. Body Slam Trivia on YouTube has the whole timeline. It's only like 4 minutes long, but he's streaming while doing this, so he's putting this out there. And then he gets in the ring. The guy Psycho Stu turns around. Raja picks him up over his head because he's an MMA. He's trained. Slams him to the mat. Forearm after forearm after forearm, and people have to pull him off of him. Pull Raja off of Psycho Stu, and Psycho Stu is pretty much, they said, flatlining in the ring.
Yeah, he looked like he was. There's one video, I think, from a fan. You might see it on the other videos too, but there's like a fan video, and it looks like he's like seizing, convulsing almost too at one point. But
I
actually, the more I think about it too, he might have been choking because they said he was choking on teeth and blood, which is just wild.
Right. So we've had a few wrestlers speak up. Right. Mark Henry believes Psycho Stu has to take some blame because he bit off more than he could chew. That's what his statement was.
Yeah, I saw that. The only thing I saw too with that was he's like, well, if it's the way I'm hearing it or whatever, and I'm like, dude, you have not caught up. Like, you have not caught up with this story. But go ahead, like, keep burying this. I like keep burying yourself with this story. There's no
I
defense of this guy. I don't
no,
care who it is. There's no defense of this guy.
especially when he sat there ringside and said he always wanted to beat the shit out of a pro wrestler.
Oh, and he's there's that other clip where he says, "I'm gonna hit him as many times as I can before someone stops me," and the deal was hit him once, right? Like even if you want to take the one backstage guy that says give him the receipt, that means hit him the one time. You hit him once, which we can argue whether or not that be appropriate, which probably wouldn't given the way he slammed him, but I don't think he was supposed to slam him that way either. So I don't know. Like there's just so much stuff. Like he's clearly spiraling. He says what you just said. He says he's going to hit him as many times as he can. It's like, and then after the fact too, there's that clip when they call him, and they're like, "Dude, he's flatlined in the ring," and he's like, "Oh, sorry." Like what? I mean, there's I there's no defense of this guy. I'm
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
don't.
if I would say I'm shocked or surprised at Mark Henry. I just think I'm hoping he's just ill informed.
Yeah,
I hope
I,
because it's a bad look.
I think, like you said, he's way behind in the story. Like that's the only thing that makes sense is that he's that far behind in the story. Like, and especially when there's video of 2 to 3 people coming up to you saying, "Listen, we apologize if you took that beer can personally." Like that should have been the end right there. That that should have been the end for Raja to stand there and be like, for it to click. Oh, I'm actually part of a show now. Okay, I just got to pick him up, drop him, and then I can give him a fake forearm or one forearm once, and then it's done, right? And then I could show the crowd that I got back at him. But there's video of 2 or 3 people apologizing for what went on. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then it's crazy because now you got Michael Irvin talking about it, which he's just a figurehead in sports talking about it, and then he's digging into the questioning Raja's motives, and then he's questioning streaming culture, which I kind of did when we spoke earlier about it. Like I said, like wait, like I think one of these days, like just based on what happens at these indie shows, we're gonna get streamed a snuff film, and it's gonna be something bad that goes along, right? Like kind of like that other story that I sent you about Kick. It had these French guys that wouldn't let this one guy leave the room, and they keep feeding him all this stuff, and he eventually died because of everything that they fed him. Like it's just, I don't know. It's rough. I don't like if you're that down in the. I don't know. Like if you're that down in the dumps when you're saying like you have no money and you're not asking your dad for any because you don't feel that's respectful. Like, wouldn't that almost pressure you to realize like I can't screw up on anything I do, rather than just go off the edge, right? Because if you're trying to make it on any last chance that you have, like just think if he went out to that indie show, he put on a good show for the part that he's in, based on who his dad's dad, who his father is, and the connections that his father probably has. He could have easily gotten a call from Tony Khan to show up, right?
Right.
And then, you know, we've seen that happen before. What's his name? Hager, right? He was a previous MMA guy.
Yeah.
Brock's a previous, like it's possible, but it just, whatever it is, it just seems like he blurred the lines to like what's real and safety within the ring. Um, how do you feel about WWID dropping it, like dropping Rikishi's promotion because of this?
I mean, I obviously don't know the whole story there, but it doesn't shock me. I was just googling something about it to see to try. I wanted to see something before I spoke on it, and there's this article that is saying too that higher ups in the promotion have been telling the wrestlers not to cooperate with authorities. And it's like, if that's true too, then I could see why WWE is like, you got to get our brand off your
Yeah,
social
because
media. Like,
right, because it's only going to get worse.
right, we can't be.
Yeah, you can't be screwing around with that, right?
That. But I think in general, it's just very bad press. So it's like, you know, they're a much different company now when it comes to that stuff. So I think in the immediate, they just got to do it. Um, I also wonder too, like they don't have any. I don't even know if they have anybody in their um
What do you mean?
in that from that promotion in their program or not. Like I know that they made a bunch of deals with promotions, but they also brought in a bunch of actual wrestlers to start training and stuff. And I don't know if they actually have anyone from his promotion, but on their website, they only show 4 schools now, which really isn't that much. Of
No.
course, Nightmare Factory is one of them. So
Yeah.
I'm sure they probably called Rikishi and said, look,
Yeah, we can't have this. Right.
for now, um, you're going to have to take it off for a little bit. Like, we're going to have to let this cool off. So, yeah, that school, according to this, was one of the original 5 that they announced for the program. It was Reality of Wrestling, Nightmare Factory, Black and Brave, which is Seth Rollins. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Elite Pro Wrestling and KnockX Pro Academy. So it doesn't shock me. But in fairness, I wouldn't be shocked if they were still affiliated too, because
Like if they just did a back
like
door deal.
Well, I mean, or if they just didn't do anything is my point. Like if they just left it, and all this, somebody might ask their press office, and their press office says, "Look, like, yes, we're affiliated with that school. Like, it's a very unfortunate incident. Our thoughts and our prayers for Psycho Stu's like recovery are with him and his family. Obviously, we'll let the authorities do whatever they're doing, like, and we condemn the actions of Jackson, right? That's all you have to say.
Yeah.
You know?
I thought we were gonna hear that first. I thought we were gonna hear that before we read the article that the police were involved. And then I thought we were gonna see it get dropped, well, once the police were involved.
Yeah.
That's how I thought it was gonna go, right? Because like they've kind of did that for wrestlers that have been in trouble. Like Jimmy has what, 2 or 3 DUIs? And it's all been the same type of statement. So, as of right now, or as I've been able to find as of 10 a.m. this morning, or 10 a.m. yesterday morning, the Los Angeles Police Department is investigating the incident. So, hopefully Psycho Stu, bounces back. But it's wild, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a long recovery, it sounds like.
Yeah. It is wild. So, yeah. Yeah, man. This is kind of, you know, that this is the part of the business that gets tricky, right? Like you got to know who you're doing business with while you're in there, so that you can feel safe about this, right? Because I guarantee Cycle Stu was not expecting to be choking on his teeth within 7 minutes of this kid hopping in the ring, right? So, and like you said, I don't think there's any defense around this. There's just he snapped, and now he has to pay the cost. So I hope he gets sued, and I hope he gets some jail time out of this, or get some counseling or something. But this was uncalled for guys that are just trying to make their name in a business that we love. But moving on for that, kind of a comical story, but also kind of sad. So AEW star Queen Amanita is stuck in the UK after there was some important items stolen. She was on the Zero pre-hour show and then the main event card, and I guess during the match, um, you know, she was tagged with the Killa and they brawled at ringside. Eventually, went backstage, and then she later ended up on the main show. And then I guess what had happened was she was supposed to be leaving the UK today, but on Saturday, her backpack was stolen that contained belongings such as her debit and credit cards, driver's license, and US passport. She's stuck in the country until Thursday at the possibly uh, the latest, but it could be longer than that they're saying. With all the times that the Jaguars have played over there, you're telling me Tony can't just go send a plane and fly her back?
Not without a passport. Even on private, you still got to have a passport.
Dan, but I think we know a little bit of an island that was never talked about. You know what I mean? Like, come on now.
A little bit different.
All of a sudden, we're gonna say, "Oh, everybody needs a passport." Yeah, let's just go hold up those white binders again and say, "Here's everything." Anyways,
that's a different situation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it is. But
there was no government on that island.
It's goddamn Hogwarts over there, Dan. That's a government. So hopefully, she gets back. But that's shitty. That's real shitty that somebody would do that to her. But then again, there's crime everywhere, Dan. So
there's crime everywhere.
There is. That's what we've been being told. You want to jump into the WWE stuff right now? You want to jump into what's happened last night, or you want to talk about the pricing stuff that we talked about? What do you feel like, Dan?
Let's go into the pricing. I don't think we're going to spend a ton of time on the show, so let's go into the pricing.
Okay. So originally, I've been following this for probably about 2 to 3 weeks now. There's been some posts that are being put out by some wrestling websites that have been getting some contact from those involved at these arenas or event places. It's looking like, from everything I've been able to read, the Ringside Row 1 package for both nights of WrestleMania 42, so for 2 nights, so divide this price by 2, costing over $70,000 per person. Row 2 and 3 are priced between $35,000 and $50,000 per person. I mean, what are we doing?
Let me see something. I'm going to have a not popular take on this.
What, that it's priced right?
No, not that it's priced right, but
like, I get why, because what's Super Bowl prices?
Oh God, yeah. I mean,
right? Because I kind of feel like they put themselves into that type of realm now with joining ESPN. I feel like they're on that level, and they get to do this for basically a whole week almost.
So I'm gonna look that up now too, as I say. So the okay, this is even crazy.
Yeah,
crazier. So Super Bowl 58, 2024, averaged $12,000 a ticket.
$12,000 a ticket.
Stadium. Right, which means those front row, lower level tickets were probably 50 plus at least. Club seats were probably 200 grand, right? So that's certainly skews it for sure. But 12,000 for average, and then 7 to 8,000 secondary market tickets, right? Was the average ticket across everything being sold. The lowest on StubHub last year was reported to be $4,000 for the lowest price ticket that you could get secondhand. So Super Bowl is not even in the same category yet as WWE. The average cost of a WrestleMania ticket last year was $900 for 2 nights. A 2-day pass was
That's
$900.
just the average, right? You said?
That's the average. Yeah. The average cost of a 2-day pass for last year's. So again, I'm looking up. So what was a front row ticket? So WrestleMania 40 reportedly were around $23,000 for front row. So it's still a big jump, but they were already really expensive. So my take that's not going to be super popular is it doesn't matter, to be honest, what the price is my take, because the average WrestleMania viewer and goer isn't spending 23 to get it, probably isn't even spending 10,000 to get that ticket. So it's getting sold to somebody who can afford it at 35, afford it at 70.
Yeah,
if they want it.
Yeah.
And all they want is celebrities anyway. They want high profile people that they can span the camera to, like every once in a while, and whatever. So like I get some of the outrage about it, but then I also look at it and I say, I'm not getting that ticket at 10,000 either. So you can drop it back to 10 and I'm still not getting it. Like, I don't even want to spend 1,000 to get basically a nosebleed ticket.
No, I get it.
You know?
I just have a fear that the WWE is going to get to the point where the everyday family is priced out. And I feel like a lot of the shows we've been to, like it's a lot of family stuff. And you've been able to do that for years. And I think that's I think it could start a slow decline of like people turning in, right? Because they got this deal with ESPN. So they
last year
think that they're on the level as the Super Bowl or like the big UFC cards, right? And it's kind of like you're right. They want the variety of who's in the first row, who's in the second row, who's in the third row. Because look at what UFC does, right? They shoot to the fighters, they shoot to the ring girls, and then what do? Immediately go and find Theo Von throughout the stadium, right? Like that's what they do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this, a tweet from last year. A premium floor ticket was going to range anywhere from 6,500 to 18,000. Now that doesn't even tell you where on the floor you're sitting.
It just says premium,
now,
right?
Right. Well, you get some of the other stuff, right? Like you get a special entrance, you get the express checkout line for merch, you get a credential, the lanyard, priority passes. You get a gift pack, right? Like hospitality with superstar appearances, right? So like that's not, that's not nothing, right? There's a whole experience with that. But I agree to your point. But I think I agree that like they're slowly going to price out more and more people. But the unfortunate part is a lot of stuff is pricing out the family.
Yeah.
Like football is, depending on where you live, football tickets, right? Like we're semi lucky. We live in a market where we have among the lowest tickets in the league, but they're still expensive. You look at, baseball, depending on where you are, Yankees tickets aren't cheap. Red Sox tickets aren't cheap, right? Like good teams, right? Like you can't buy a 4-pack of season tickets anymore for the average family. I think that's the unfortunate part. Like about everything, like major sports, major productions. I mean, this is going to be so far down off the path a little bit, but what's a membership to Shays these days in Buffalo, right? Like just a theater package. I mean, it's not like, obviously it's not like what we're talking about here, but it's not
Like a
cheap,
season
right?
ticket, you mean?
Yeah, however it works with the theater at Shays, right? Like it's not cheap.
Yeah. Um, to be honest, I don't think I once knew, but it was a few years ago. But they don't post it online. But it's up there.
I mean,
It's
the right, like, and the membership doesn't even guarantee you everything, right? You still have to like go in and buy more, right? Like it's
if you wanted
you
extra,
know,
I think you pay for. So it's like weekends to. Right now they have Friday, Saturday, like evenings. They have packages of 368, 522, 668, and 790. That's based on the shows that you're trying to get added. Weeknights and Sunday evenings are 755, 633, 48, and 333. So
yeah.
that's just based
I
on
mean,
the
the
amount
average
of shows that you're adding to your package, right? Like as it goes
right,
up, it gets expensive,
sure.
obviously. But
The average like Broadway ticket to or any show on Broadway, and there's a bunch of different like theaters and stuff, is probably about 100 to 150 bucks, which maybe isn't a lot, but if you're trying to do it like in a family of four, and next thing
yeah,
you know, you're spending $600-700 for one show, right? Like you want to go take your kids to see, whatever, the Lion King, and you're probably spending 800 to a grand for decent seats, and then you put in the cost of getting there and food and whatever you're doing. Like, it's just the unfortunate problem. Like the cost of entertainment is going up,
yeah,
up and up and up.
and it's crazy because
I mean,
only
one
the
thing I really want to do is go to the Sphere in Las Vegas, but the ticket prices for even the like experimental show, like not a real show, but just what they show you to show
yeah,
what
like the
all
test
the
show.
bells and whistles,
Yep,
is like 150 bucks just to see the test show.
yep.
It's like, you
Well,
know, you want to go see a movie in there and it's twice as much. And if you want to see a concert, forget about it. You gotta take out a mortgage.
yeah, and it's kind of like what I said with the streaming package, right? Like it's like they're definitely gonna cut off some families that are like, yeah, if it was $9.99 again on Peacock, I would still keep that. There's no way I'm spending $300 at once, right? Like just for an app to just use for wrestling, right? Because if you have a cable
Right.
package, you already get ESPN, which means you get this for free. But if you're one of those people that piece everything together because it's cheaper that way, it's costing you $300. And if you're not into sports, it's kind of a waste, right? Like,
Yeah. The Sphere is playing the Wizard of Oz, the movie The Wizard of Oz. Now is one of the things they're doing for a little bit.
mm-hmm.
An 11 a.m. show on a Friday for a ticket in the middle, which isn't the best, isn't the worst. It's $300 to watch The Wizard of Oz at the Sphere. So it's like, I don't know, like the cost of entertainment is crazy these days.
Yeah, yeah, man. We know, right? Like, it's nuts, which is sad because like we grew up. I think like going to wrestling shows growing up, it was cool because like you got to talk about it with like the other kids in your school that went, or like the kids that couldn't make it, you got to make it, and we are like, yeah, da da da. And I feel like I went to a few shows just with like a group of kids growing up, like even when I was in college and like I barely had anything, like I could get a floor seat to a SmackDown show for like 70, $80, and which was awesome,
Right,
right?
right.
Like because that would fit the budget. So it's interesting, man, for sure. It is. It's something. Um, but yeah, I just I don't know. I was thinking, if Vince was still here, do you think he takes the ESPN deal? I don't know why that popped in my head when we originally started talking about it.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
You think he takes the ESPN deal?
Yeah, because it's all about money. Yeah.
I'm
I
torn.
don't think that changes. I don't think. I mean, certainly because are you saying, but Vince is still here, but it's still a TKO endeavor?
No, if Vince is the person in charge, like if it's just Vince still in charge.
Well, he's still in a. Okay, so if he never sold to TKO,
Correct.
too,
If it's just Vince
or,
at the
or
top
any
of the
endeavor.
hierarchy.
I still think he probably does, only because I think he was always just trying to, you know, I mean, I don't think ESPN represents a bad broadcast partner for them.
No, I could just
And
see
I
it
think,
both ways. Yeah.
yeah, I think like the whole thing that I think they're realizing is that the Peacock deal, while it was good for them, doesn't offer them the growth anymore because $5 a month isn't enough, right? Like Peacock, NBC Universal isn't making enough to make that kind of investment
Yeah.
that ESPN's made, that Netflix made, right? Because they're not charging enough, and it seems like they're not interested in moving that model, right? I mean, they let them go, they let WWE go. They didn't match or beat that offer. And to me, that indicates they're probably not going to raise their price because they're probably looking at what we were talking about last week. People are going to get tired of everything being $22 to $30 a month.
Yeah. And it's happening very quickly.
Right. And I mean, I said it last time, like cord cutters were the whole cord cutter movement was because cable was too expensive. And now it's like you're paying more than you would have with cable to have everybody's streaming service. And yeah, there's some added value in what you're getting out of it, right? But it's not, depending on who you are, like it's not worth it. ESPN for me isn't worth it. Like I'll probably end up doing it because I want the WWE stuff, but I'm not going to find a ton of use out of it. At least not after a while. Maybe initially because I'll be like, "Oh, it's cool that I can go and watch this," and I'll make an excuse to go watch something that otherwise I wouldn't care to watch. But 6 months from now, I guarantee you, unless they come out with some crazy original content that's really good, I'm not going to want to watch. I'm not going to care about it. I'm only going to use it for WWE.
How far in the future do you think it is until ESPN has the whole entire library? Because I heard that's next.
I don't know. I think that's tough, like because they've got so many deals with so many people. Like I guess you can take the SmackDown deal out of it because that's still on cable and whatnot, right? So, but I don't think anytime soon Netflix is going to give up the right to have whatever library they have, which would be at least of Raw. But I would assume that ESPN is getting the same library Peacock has. No? Right? I mean, where is all those? Where are all the former pay-per-views going to go?
ESPN chairman Jimmy Pitaro said they are certainly interested in the library rights if they become available. This interest follows the acquisition of the WWE premium live events. This is just premium live events that WWE is going to have. They technically have Stephanie's podcast on there, right? Because Stephanie's podcast is on Hulu. And they own that now. The library itself is going to be.
Oh, okay. So this is saying that right now we don't know where the library is going to be.
As of right now, it stays with Peacock, I read. Yeah.
Well, I'm reading it expires when the Peacock deal officially expires. The
Until
library expires
December
the end
20.
of this year.
Yep, December 31st. Yep.
So I wonder. So that's interesting. Like they're either making another deal, which is crazy but smart, I guess. And I wonder if they have it out to other bidders to say, which is going to be weird, but to say, okay, here you go. You can't have our premium live events. You can't have Raw, and you can't have SmackDown, and you can't have NXT for the time being. But you can buy the history, the library, and all this stuff. You can have people coming to your platform to watch, last year's WrestleMania. That's interesting. Talk about a way to capitalize on even more money. Jeez.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's all. And we're only talking in confines of North America,
Right.
right? Because
Because
international
everything's on
rights are with
Netflix.
Netflix.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. It'd be really interesting to me if like an Amazon rolls in and gets a deal for like the library or something like that, or maybe Paramount. I mean, they spent all that money on UFC. I can't imagine they have any more money left, but I guess Paramount, in theory, could be a player when you think about it, of saying, "Hey, we made a deal for this. Why don't we make a deal for your library too?" Huh. Or does the WWE get cute and try to do their own library streaming service?
Again for
Where it's
$9.99 a
nothing-
month.
Well, I mean, where it's nothing but library and their original content and all that stuff, right? Like
I wonder. So I was
they
thinking
already
that.
have, they
Yeah.
already kind of had the inner workings of it. It would just be rebooting.
So I was thinking about that. Do they come back with that, and then they say if you have the ESPN package, this is covered, or if you don't have the ESPN package, you could get this for $10 a month. You know what I mean? And we know
maybe,
some
but
cycles
but
would
they're
that
not
would buy that.
saying- Yeah, but they're not being. I mean, they're not making anything off doing it that way, and because they'd have to make an agreement with ESPN to get a piece of the subscription back.
And I'm sure that they could.
Maybe. I mean, it would be smart for ESPN to buy it and I guess make another tier, I guess, of their system. I don't know.
That's what it kind of feels like, right? Like, so I don't know. But real quick, did you see Roxanne Perez hits Punk with a pop rock today at a WWE live event?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Yep. It was a main event that saw Punk, Sammy, and Penta take on the Judgment Day. So JD, Finn, and Dominic. Which is kind of funny that she was able to pull that off on him. It looked kind of awkward because of like his body weight at the end, right? Like of trying to make him hit the full like flip, but she did a very good job on it. So kudos to the both of them. Yeah. And then Joe Hendry was at that live event today. Just to run through that real quick, you had the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, and Jacob defeating My Family Tree. Julia defeated Zelina Vega, Tag Team Championship, though Wyatt 6 defeat Ray Phoenix and LA Knight. What a tag team right there. Ray Phoenix and LA Knight, Dan. The Miz does an open challenge. With them being in England, who do you think answers? If you believe.
Oh, Joe Hendry?
Yep. Joe Hendry defeats the
Interesting.
Biz. Finally, a TNA guy goes over, I guess. The women tag team championships, Charlotte and Alexa defeat Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. The War Raiders defeat the New Day, which I want to talk about that specifically. The Penta and Kofi. The Manchester Maniacs defeat the New Day. That's kind of funny. And Tiffany defeats Nia and Jade. And CM Punk, Sammy, and Penta defeat the Judgment Day. This is kind of funny. Um, the Manchester Maniac, Dan. Have you heard of that?
No. I was gonna actually ask you who that was.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I haven't heard of that. But interesting. Interesting. So yeah, Raw's bad again.
Yeah.
You know.
Real bad.
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 And Penta's jobbing out the Kofi now.
Yeah, I actually wonder if they're eventually like if they're just slowly working back to getting Ray and Penta together.
How would you do it?
I think it has to be like they're just going to continue to have the New Day like torment Penta in different ways, and he's going to need a partner, and boom, there it is. It's his brother. Because I don't know, they really haven't been doing a lot with Ray, right? Like, I mean, he's been in some stuff. But
They've been
like,
doing less with even Penta, I think, for him being on every goddamn show.
Well, but I mean, but he's being shown all the time. But like, I don't feel like Ray is getting shown all the time. You know?
No, he's having these weird one-off things, like you said.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I just wonder if that's what they're doing. I mean, if we're getting, I don't know if we're getting closer to a draft again in the future or what they're doing, but.
Well, that's another topic that I had on the talk sheet for today, Dan. But we'll get there soon. I don't know. What do you think of the Nikki Bella and Becky stuff? But first of all, what? Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't feel like the right one for Becky. It just feels like it's not there. Like it just, I don't like.
No, and their promo was pretty bad, I thought, too.
Yeah. And did you see that WWE is actually considering an apology? Like, had that to have Becky come out and give an apology because of what she said about Ozzy?
I think that's stupid if they do.
I'm hoping that that's not real.
I'm hoping it's not real either. I mean, people are like, this is such an overreaction, like to like anything. Like I don't understand it because she only, I don't even know. She didn't even like, I mean, badmouth him, right? Like she made the comment about he was the only good thing that came out of this area, but then even he knew to leave it and go to LA and go to a real city. Like, yeah, okay, I know he died recently. You think for 1 second that he wouldn't chuckle at that if he was alive? I mean, I'm sure he probably would, you know, like, but that's what they do, right? I mean, this is what they do. What, last week or the week before, it was a joke about John Cena, and like, there's always a joke about her being the man in the relationship, right? Like, I mean, this is just what they freaking do.
Yeah, I agreed.
People are like crazy for that. I saw like the daughter is really upset, and it's
Kelly,
like,
yep, she put out
okay.
the tweet.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, like I get it, it's your father, but like you also like clearly have no clue, you know, what wrestling promos are about, you know. So I don't know.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think like how to describe Raw before just saying it was bad. I just like the Roman and
There's
Bronson
just
thing was fine. Um I love how Roman can still get over by saying calling Paul a dumbass. And it's such like a childish thing, but it works every time, right? Like it's still just it
yeah.
works. Um there's a decent promo by Bronson saying that he's just some Bowens that Roman's father w- warned him about because they were the Samoans that were sent to Australia, so the prison island. Um, you can also buy the Tribal T-shirt on WWE.com now, so that's pretty cool.
Which one?
The Tribal Thief shirt is on
What is the tribal
WWE.com.
thing?
I'm
No.
trying to think. Roman's good. He's still, he still has it. Interesting takes. He said his plans for the future, or his plans for now and his plans for the future, um, which sounds like he's going to be around more than we possibly assumed, right? The way
Yeah,
that he said
I
that.
do think I do think that they're moving towards what I was talking about before and what I wanted, and they're slowly hinting. Like I do think he's gonna get the bloodline back together, right? Like he made a
A new
comment
version?
like
Yeah,
I don't
that
have
he
a
does.
bloodline anymore, right? And then like now he's like supporting Jay, and like they're having the little chat backstage, right? And he's like, "No, I get it. You got to go out and do this for you." I don't think Jay's gonna win, and I think that's a perfect opportunity for Roman to be like, listen, I'm going to pick you up now. I'm going to dust you off, right, from that loss. And you and I are going to go get back to be what we were. And then, you know, going to recruit some other people, you know, because the other thing is like, what's going on now with like Solo and Jacob and all those guys, right? Like, eventually I think they all weighed back together a little bit, right? So, um, I just think they're starting to give you a little bit of a like, hey, this is here.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like, it is very interesting. I'm just glad that Roman said he has plans to be here in the future, right? Like, I'm just very happy about that because I know we read reports that he's gonna be gone for a while, so I'm all for that. Um, my follow up. Let me see. What did I have? Oh, what are your thoughts on Cody getting those booths? That that
Yeah,
that was loud. Even the tribal chief was caught off guard.
yeah. I mean, they might be a little tired of it.
Yeah, I
It's
think
been a little
that's
weird, and they're gonna love John Cena. So like, it's
yeah.
gonna be an interesting, like, it's gonna be an interesting. Well, it's good that they're not doing like anything Cody Cena now, but like, yeah, it doesn't actually shock me.
No, I don't.
The whole program has been weird, and obviously like part of that is whatever got screwed up with Travis Scott and maybe those plans and stuff like that, and they pivoted a little bit, but yeah, I
Did
mean,
you read into any of those Travis Scott articles or those stories that were out there?
not really. Not really, other than like what we've talked about a little bit. Like he just really wasn't in it, right?
He
Like,
like disrespected the whole process. Like he showed up and they would
yeah,
like say, "Hey, this is what we want to do," and he'll be like, "No, I'm not doing that." And then when they asked him to stick around or to be around for stuff, he who would show up for like a quarter of the time and then just walk off. Like, that's wild to me. It's wild. Like the branding that he could have did, right? Because he was doing those Cactus Jack shirts that he called them, right? So it's like that probably just killed that deal for you. So, um, yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know, man. Um, yeah. So the Bronson Reed and Roman stuff was good. That was nothing before that on the card was really worth watching. I did like that Jay took Roman's advice, and when he said you go out there and you smash all four of them, and he gave LA Knight a super kick, and he gave Punk one as well, right? Like it shows that he's kind of focused on the goal of like he wants his damn title back. Which I think is like I I think it's a good sign for Jay because I feel like they're getting ready to take another step with his character, right? Of like like you said, like this may be able to like have him have a good showing here, and then all of a sudden he's back with the boys, and it's just chaos again. They're just traveling like they're the best band in the world through show to show to show, right? Just as as the T-shirt one said, show up, wreck everyone, and leave, right? Like, and I hope they do that. It it would be awesome. It would be an awesome turn of events to see Seth Rollins and the Vision faction become the hunted instead of the hunter. Just because Roman got his boys back, right? And and maybe Zilla makes the move. So you give Zilla to Roman and say, listen, anything anything Shane says over the next 5 years, write this down. Whenever he talks, you have to be taking notes. You're basically setting yourself up for the next 20 years, right? Like,
right.
because you know it's not Solo, right? Like, let's be honest. It's not Solo. It could be Jacob. The crowds love Jacob. But it's just, is Jacob going to keep himself in shape long enough to stay around that long, right? And that was kind of the problem that Rikishi had. Like, he knew what to do to be able to do what he did in the ring, but he wasn't a guy that took care of his body. Right? So, you know,
Right.
that will, just like any other professional sport, you don't take care of your body, you're not going to be collecting a paycheck for long. That's just how it goes. So, but I mean, Jesus, like, other than that, like, reading reading the live event today, I feel like the live event was better than the show yesterday.
Yeah, I mean the show,
Right? Like,
the show really wasn't good. The show really wasn't good. You know.
so I guess, like, what do we have? What do we have for sure at Clash of Paris?
We have for sure. I think we're getting more on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Um, so far, I think confirmed. So from what I have confirmed, we have Becky versus Nikki, Roman versus Bronson, Sheamus versus Rusev, and then the four-way: Rollins, Punk, Uso, LA Knight, and then Cena versus Paul. I thought I read that they were probably going to have 7 matches. So you're adding a women's match, another, maybe another women's match.
CBS is predicting Cody versus Drew.
Oh yes, Cody versus Drew. That's what I read too. Because Drew's been attacking Cody and all
Yeah,
that. I think
yeah.
that's right.
So
Cody versus Drew. I thought maybe that's going to be the last one, but I thought I read there might be seven up there.
so well, let's go through this. We can say interested or not interested. The fatal four way
It's going to be
for
real easy.
the championship match: Seth, Jay, Punk, and LA Knight. Are you interested?
Yes,
Yes,
interested.
obviously. Cena versus Logan.
Yes,
Yes.
interested.
Sheamus versus Rusev. No way in hell.
Not interested. Not
Ro-
interested.
Ro- Roman.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm I hope to God this is the last time I have to see this.
Right. I'm over it too. Yes. Roman versus Bronson. Yeah.
Not interested.
Oh, really?
Not interested at all.
I think
Not
it's going to be
interested.
good to tie into the overall story. I don't think the match itself will be good, but I think what it's going to lead to, I I think this is a building block. I do also think there should have been Braun Breaker instead of Bronson, but hopefully Paul has something up his sleeve, right? Um, if we get the prediction of Cody versus Drew,
Um, to be honest, not interested all that much.
no, and Becky versus Nikki Bella.
Severely not interested.
And then they said this match could. CBS Sports said it's 50-50. We could have this on there, or this could be devoted to the go home episode of SmackDown. Damian Priest versus Aleister Black.
Not interested also. For
So
me.
if all the predictions are right from CBS Sports, which the Becky versus Dickie one is, that's a total of 7 right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
So
Out of
me personally, I'm only interested in 2. You're
correct.
interested in 3. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad for both of us.
Um, if those are the 7, what do you start the card with?
Um, either the 4-way or Drew and Cody.
You start the card with the 4-way?
Yeah. Knowing that Cena and Paul is last, there's no way that's not the last match. Well, I guess it could be. I guess it might not be, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be the main event.
What, Cena and Paul?
Cena and Paul. I think that's going to be the main event. So for me, then you start with the 4-way. Right? It's that theory we talk about all the time. If you're not last, you want to be first.
Yeah.
Why,
I
what do
thought
you start with?
I think we're gonna see Roman versus Bronson. I think Roman versus Bronson. Then we go to Becky versus Nikki. Then we get the 4-way. I think with I think it could have been set up the way you said, but I think what they saw when Roman went out there and Cody got booed, everything had been breeding backstage. That Cody getting booed like that caught everybody up by surprise. Like just they weren't expecting it. So I think Roman still gets you that high that you need to start the show with. And then you could easily ride off it by going Becky, then back to the 4-way for that to get that big high again. But then after that, I think you see 2 or 3 bad matches until you get to Paul versus Logan. Not bad matches, but just ones that people are just kind of like, okay, let's go buy our t-shirts now. Type stuff. So it'll be interesting. Obviously I'll be turning in as it's the last one on Peacock. So that'll be fun. And then don't forget Raw that following day is on at 2:30 again. So that's cool. I mean, yeah, there's some other storylines to talk about. So I guess besides that, we didn't really have much on Raw or Clash in Paris. But once again, other storylines outside the scored circle. You think WWE is hinting at Jericho being back with what they added to their YouTube channel, or do you think that's just them playing the masses?
To be honest, I think it could be either. It's hard to know. Like,
Yes.
it's really hard to know, like, what they're doing. I mean, I'm sure their social media team is very good about like picking up on, hey, this rumor's out there. Let's do this a little bit, just to, come on, let's float it in a little bit,
Yeah. Yeah.
So it really could be either. I mean, I guess so. The question I have for you then is, do you care if he comes back? Are you interested if he comes back? Like we've been kind of negative about Jericho over the last couple of years. In AEW, there was a time when it was all right, and then it just kind of fizzled, and it's kind of like he went back and forth to being interesting to not being interesting, and then like he's not interesting again
with the whole family tree thing.
Yeah, and like we could recognize when he had a good gimmick or a good story or a good thing that was over, but I never got the sense that either of us were all that interested in seeing Jericho anymore. And I would think that a lot of fans are gonna kind of be like that right now, But then when he walks into WWE, it's gonna be like, oh my God, he's back. And to me, that's I don't know. Does it matter? Does it matter? Maybe. I don't know. That's my question to you.
I've been thinking about this. I have a concern. Sam Roberts have talked about this too. Bully Ray on Busted Open talked about this. I do feel Jericho needs to come back before he goes to the Hall of Fame. I feel that's right. I don't think it has to be a long-term thing. I'm okay if it's a handful of events here or there. If we're getting Jericho back where he thinks he could still perform and he doesn't come back in shape, then I have an issue with it. Because then it feels like you're just taking away spots from people that deserve it. I don't like that a lot of people want to see Jericho versus LA Knight. Because that's what it's been surfacing around. That has been surfacing around a lot. Especially Bully Ray. He said that's the money match for WWE. And I don't agree. I think what you do with Jericho, you have how many matches left for Cena? I think there's a way that you can fit him in there. He comes back, he screws over Cena. Like one time. Kind of like that's how this Logan Paul stuff started, right? Like, just Logan spotting off, got in his face, confronts him, and you can get a one and done with Chris Jericho. You gotta tell him that he has to stop pretending he's still on the booze cruise and he has to help back on his Peloton bike. Like, nobody wants fat Jericho out there. Like, that's not happening. But now that Sam Roberts is talking about this, I told you before, I feel like Sam is so well connected now that he does the WWE official podcast. I think he knows something is coming down, and it's eventually happening. I would get him involved with Athena for a one and done. KO's out hurt, so you can't do anything with that. I don't know. Like, is there anything on the roster that interests you with Jericho?
No, and I'm not trying to be like
Right. No, that's kind of where I am. Right.
Right. Like, don't be a dick about.
Right.
I'm not trying to just be a dick about Jericho, but like, no,
right.
It's not like, and like he could come in, and I guess like, I don't even know. I'm trying to think of something that like, you could do with him. Because you're not going to bring him in to just like kind of hang in the middle card for a while. Like, you're going to bring him into something to try to catch everyone's attention right off the bat.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this is going to sound weird, right? But like, depending on what you're doing with him, I suppose you could try to do an angle where he comes in and he's pissed off at Punk because Punk ruined what he had a good thing going somewhere else, right? Like, they could try that angle. But like, am I interested in seeing that? Not really, but I guess you're not necessarily going to put Jericho against some like up and comer either. He's kind of past that, being able to like hang with the young guy to put him over. And nobody, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you feel differently, but like, I don't really care if a young guy goes over on Jericho. Like, it doesn't mean much to me anymore,
Right. Yeah, I don't think he has that that buzz with his name anymore. I just feel like that's long gone. If I was bringing him back, I would have him show up with the list. Like, immediately come out with that again.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that's going to let him connect with the crowd right away. And he could just come out to cut people off, right? I feel like when he does get back, we're going to see the Miz back. And then I think we're going to get a little bit of that, which nobody wants. So it's like, I don't know. It's, yeah. I don't know, man. It's tough. There's just nothing for me to say. Like, yeah, bring him on back. We could do a lot with him. Like, it's like, yeah, if he wants to come back and, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it's just tough because it's like, it breaks my brain on, like, what we would actually do with him. You know what I mean? Like, it's not exciting at all. Like, it's like, okay, cool. But then, like, do you think what do you think Tony Khan says about the whole situation then, if that's true?
If he goes back, I don't know. Like, I think
that one pisses off Tony. I think Jericho definitely pisses off Tony.
I don't know anymore. I think recently he's been set up a few times to like take shots at WWE, and he's finally like starting to not take the shot anymore. Maybe because he finally realizes he looks dumb when he does it, but like he's like changing the like he's not accepting the premise of the questions now. Recently, at least when I've seen like because they asked him most recent like they asked him a week or two ago about counter programming, right? Because WWE keeps putting on these shows the same day as AEW shows, right? And like I don't care. Everyone in TKO can swear on an affidavit that that's not what they're doing. That's bullshit. They're doing it, and that's fine. Like, but if they're trying to pretend they aren't, like, that's bullshit. But his answer in the past would have been, "We have a better product. We this. We have that. Like, screw them." What was it that one time? He's like, "I'm not dealing with this fucking shit anymore." Right? Like,
Yeah,
or whatever he said.
I'm
Right?
not gonna sit there
Like,
and
and
take it.
right, and he's taken shot after shot. And then this time, I'm pulling up the quote now. It was much more of like, look, I think we've built a lot of excitement inside and outside and all around the company, so I want to be able to continue that. The most important thing for us to do is talk about AEW and work really hard on AEW every week and not focusing on what every other wrestling promotion is doing. But I do like watching wrestling and keeping up with other promotions. We've been in business since 2019. Um, there's been other promotions at times doing some very cool things as well. And at the very best of AW, I think we've been super focused on what we're doing, yada, 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 right? I think we've been doing the best shows. We have the best fans. Great. All that lip service. But he didn't sit there and go, F those guys. They're doing it because they think we're a threat. We're the next big thing. Like, he's not doing what he used to do. And there's been some other stuff in because he still does his media scrums, and he really hasn't taken those shots anymore. Um, so I don't know if he'll care or not, right? Like, I guess it depends on that. But I mean, well, whether or not there's NDAs involved and all that kind of stuff. Although I don't think there can be an NDA if it's like if he just doesn't renew a contract, unless there was an NDA when you got into the contract. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe internally he's mad, sure, but I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, it's all interesting, man, because it's like,
It's the nature of the business, though, too. Like, right? Like, like it's no different. Like, you signed Copeland, right? Like, WWE gave him a contract offer. You gave him a contract offer. He chose yours. Like, WWE, like, look, the only thing I remember WWE saying is like, no, we wanted him back. He chose not to, which was true. But they
yep,
didn't badmouth them. They didn't go crazy.
no,
I think Triple H made one kind of comment, right? But like nothing crazy, right? It's just what happens in this industry.
right.
Like wrestlers come and go.
Well,
Now, yes, like
and it's been a while,
obviously
yeah,
some of them are bigger deals.
and it's been a
Sorry,
while
go
since
ahead.
we had two promotions that they could actually do this. I think
Right.
that kind of feels, I think a lot of people forget that. Like that's a big thing now that you have two promotions that can people, make a living off of. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, look, obviously some signings are bigger deals than others. Like, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Like, if we go way back, the if we go way back, like the Will Osprey signing,
Yeah.
right? That seemed to be a big deal, and like and there was obviously a little bit of hurt feeling with WWE for whatever reason because clearly, like you know, Triple H like made that one comment right in response or whatever about like, oh hey, well if you only want to have to work once a week and then I don't want you here or whatever he said, right? Like okay, like that was a little pointed, and there was a reason he did that, right? That's the last time I remember like a big enough signing where it seemed to like cause a little bit of a riff. Like otherwise, it didn't matter, you know?
Yep, agreed. No, I think that's a fair comparison. Um, yeah, I think it Triple H made those comments like that because he probably thought he was close to getting Osprey, and then turns out he didn't. So that probably stuck him one way or the other. But yeah, I don't know. I would rather have the Hardy Boys back than Jericho. But would you agree?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um,
I would rather have the Dudleys back. I'm trying to think who I would rather have back. Would you take Edge back instead of Jericho?
I mean, I to be honest, I either would like it's the same to me to be honest. Like Edge had his final run in WWE, right? Like
Yeah.
Edge had like a good fun run. If he comes back, great, but he's already in the Hall of Fame, right? Isn't he? Am I wrong about that?
Um.
Yeah, 2012, right? Like you know, I mean, at the time they didn't think he was ever going to wrestle again. I think that's why they put
Yeah.
him in at that point. But he's already in the Hall of Fame, but he had a great return. He had like an incredible Rumble surprise return that went really well.
Yeah.
And he had his run and he did some stuff, and I think he was happy with that run. So I don't think he has anything to prove. So yeah, if he came back one more time, like, oh yeah, great, but like I don't care that much. Same thing with Jericho. Like, I don't know that there's that much.
Would you have Batista come
Hardy's
back
like,
instead of Jericho? Same.
no, I don't
Um.
really care to see it. I was never a big Batista fan, to be honest. Like, I just didn't ever really care about Batista.
I liked when he was like chilling with Ray. I like that part of his character. That was a good run. I just brought up Edge because I think that allows you to do full circle on all of John's best opponents. Right? Like,
Yeah.
Here's one for the women's side of the roster. Would you rather have AJ Lee back or Jericho?
Oh, AJ Lee.
Yeah, agree. 100%.
But like, she's never come back. Like, this is the thing.
No, I
like,
know, but I'm just
when
throwing
you're
it out there of
comparing-
like
Yeah,
just
but
like
when you're comparing
character to
people
character.
who, yeah,
That's all. I just character to character. I don't know. I usually when there's been smoke, there's been fire with a lot of these rumors, so I'm sure we'll see him. I don't know. Do you think he comes back with the Y2J countdown screen?
no. He said something about this in one of his podcast interviews of like about how like he doesn't always want to go back to old gimmicks. Like he does it occasionally when he thinks it'll work and get over.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he'll come back. Like the list, I could see him maybe trying that. I agree with that. But like I don't think he'll go back to Y2J and like a lot of that stuff. Like I don't think
Interesting.
at least.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, man. Some other side notes before we talk about the Hogan thing again. I don't know if you saw this, but Swerve Strickland told fans at his stage show in London he will be having knee surgery on Wednesday. Injured it back in 2019, I think, or was it 2020, 2021? Netflix is now listing Raw as starting at 7 p.m. on September 15th. And Fox 13 in Salt Lake City posted an article stating the city in Utah will host a Halloween edition of SmackDown and the November 1st Saturday night main event show, but then later deleted the article. Seems like somebody's getting fired about that, huh?
Probably.
So, but yeah, let's talk about the Hogan stuff, Dan, one last time.
I have a feeling it won't be the last time.
I know. I know. So, last we spoke, Bubba stated Brooke Hogan was told by police and hospital staff something bad is going on regarding Hulk Hogan's death. Then Bubba has said on his podcast that he was now getting DMs from police officers stating because there's no autopsy done, the police can't really go after anybody, so they're doing everything in their power to basically hide what they can so it doesn't look like it falls on the police department. And then there was a conversation of Nick and Sky being in the room when Hogan passed. And Bubba, that's her name, right? Sky? Is it Sky?
Guy, yeah.
And Bubba's kind of screaming from the top of the mountain, why is nobody questioning Sky right now? So what are your thoughts, Dan?
I'm starting to think that they helped him die.
Pass that, yeah.
I'm starting to think that based on what we're learning and what we know, that the phrenic nerve being damaged, leading to breathing trouble and diaphragm working, and the stories that seemingly are now more likely true than not about like the midnight ambulance ride for him to be at home and be in the comfort of his home and have his care around the clock at home, and them going, this dude's never going to recover to what he once was, and he's not going to enjoy life like this, and I'm just going to trip over the cord, maybe something like that, or I'm going to do something. The only flaw in my theory is that, well, maybe it's not a flaw, but the only thing in my theory that gets a little bit weird is then 911 and like doing CPR on him. But I guess it could be like they did something and then they acted like it was natural. I'm just starting to wonder if that's what happened.
Yeah. Well, and then TMZ put out a headline. I don't know if TMZ Sports has a headline out that says Hulk Hogan's cause of death may be medical malpractice. Hulk Hogan may have been the victim of medical malpractice that may have cost him his life. This, according to sources connected to the death case. You think TMZ's using Bubba as a source?
I mean, they're probably to a degree, or people that Bubba's also using. I can see that being likely, right? I mean, I kind of feel like TMZ, if they were using Bubba, they would just say they were using Bubba, because Bubba doesn't get, there's no, Bubba's just going to say it on his podcast anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Or his show every day. So.
Well, and then 11 hours ago, Bubba puts out a tweet, it looks like, says, Clearwater Police and Chief Eric Gandy screwed the pooch on Hulk Hogan's death investigation, and he's demanding Gandy's resignation. No home surveillance footage preserved, no pill bottles collected, no real crime scene investigation, no autopsy ordered at the time of death because the PD said don't bother. it's tough, man. And then I guess 5 days ago, he was going he was going off on Clearwater PD again. It basically said the Clearwater PD issued this press release at 2:20 p.m. Do you think if I wasn't asking the questions and holding them to a higher standard, they would have even bothered, or were they just going to rubber stamp this and cremate Terry, and none of us really know what happened? The Clearwater Police Department continues investigation into the July 24th death of Terry Boa, also known as Hulk Hogan. We have been in communication with the family members, including his son, Nick, and daughter, Brooke. This unique nature of this case has required us to interview multiple witnesses and seek medical records from a variety of providers, and our detectives continue to do all of that. To do that, all of this takes time. In case has required us, yeah. The Hogan family has been appreciative of the efforts, communication with them until the investigation is complete. No records related to the case, including body camera footage, can be released. This is police department policy in every case. We plan to meet with the family and brief them on the case. To this point, we will share the results of the investigation with the family prior to closing the case and releasing the public and media. I think we're too far gone to hear anything. Like,
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Because now if, like, Scientology was involved, as, like, Bubba's been saying, like, here's the thing. You got to give Bubba some credit on this, right? He's been right the whole time. Right? The whole time. He's been right.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't say all of a sudden he's wrong now without the other side coming out and saying this is why he's wrong. Because it makes no damn sense, right? So, I don't know. It's interesting. It just, like, I don't know what to say anymore. It's just sad that we're still, like, doing this. But at what point do you think Bubba continues to just keep doing this? Like at what point
I don't think he gives up on this for a while. You know.
do you think that?
I mean, there's obviously something here. You know.
Do you think that hurts him? Because Reddit is tearing him apart right now.
I mean,
no, like, do you like
doubt it.
think that hurts him come legally, or do you think that hurts the fact that any chance we have finding something out, we don't, because he just won't quiet down a little bit about it?
Well, legally, I doubt it, only because to me, there's a good chance that they'll never do anything legally because it opens up the opportunity for him to expose them, right? Because they talk about all the time, like, you get into these lawsuits and then the person you're suing also has a chance to put you in a deposition and ask you anything they want, right? So I don't think so, you know. I mean, he hasn't come out and said she killed him, right? Like,
Yeah.
You know, he's talked about he thinks there's something fishy going on, or there's this or that. Like, yeah, okay. Like, but
I mean, his latest clip was, why isn't Sky being questioned? So he's kind of almost there to the point where he's saying,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, right. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I haven't looked to see, like, you know, is his show on Twitter, like, is his Twitter view, because he live streams it on X, right? Like,
Yeah.
are the views going down? I don't think so. I don't know where else it
Well, he said he
I
was in
was
talks
watching
with
some YouTube.
Sirius. I doubt that, but I doubt that. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know. Like, I just want to. I don't know. I just hope we know. And, like, if it is malpractice, I hope they get the doctor that did it. Like, because that's the only way you prevent this from happening to somebody else.
Yeah, it's hard for me
Right? Like,
to think that it's hard for me to think that that wouldn't happen. You know, like that that won't happen in some form, like because clearly, like it seems it seems pretty clear that they they screwed up. So
yeah. I wonder how much of the Clearwater PD of just blowing it off is true, right? Like,
yeah,
that's the big factor in this. I think Brooke has to get more vocal about it if she's truly on Bubba's side of trying to figure out what's going on, and I think that will force Clearwater PD to actually do something rather than just put out the same type of announcement we always see, right?
right, yeah,
So I don't know. Well, yeah. Hopefully, we find out soon and we could just let this go. I guess I don't know. It's just getting crazy, and it feels like it's only gonna get crazier the way that Bubba's not quieting it down. But yeah. Um. So SmackDown Friday, Dan. SmackDown for
yeah,
us will still be on at 8 o'clock, right?
yeah,
I gotta try and stay off of all
yep.
social media that day because that ruined it for me last Friday. Um. And Clash in Paris Sunday, 2:30 show. Gonna enjoy a good 2:30
Yeah,
show.
yeah. With some steakums.
Yeah, and then we'll be back on Tuesday next week. I think should work, and then we'll go from there. Anything else
Yes.
you wanted to talk about, Dan? Anything else that crossed your mind? I think we hit everything that because I know there was a couple items we forgot to talk about last episode, but I think we caught it all up this week. And I'm gonna get back into NXT this week. I need to catch up. Um, so that's fun. Have you watched any AEW stuff real quick before we sign off? Have you at least tried to catch up?
I no, I have not really tried to.
Yeah.
I haven't really tried to catch up. I did watch like a bunch of clips from Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
Um, what I saw, I thought was good. I actually, I should catch up because, to be honest, like just based on the clips I've been watching, I've kind of laughed at this whole like Young Bucks story they're doing of them like losing EVP status and
Mm-hmm.
now like they come out and like they don't get graphics or they don't get a theme song or they're actually in the ring prior to the commercial break, right? And then they come back and like their opponents get the entrance, but they don't. And then they like, uh, then at Forbidden Door, they played Hanson, uh, like as their song. And I think it's kind of been like comical and like some of that stuff I think is funny. Uh, and just some of the other story. I'm still disappointed. Like, I don't think like the MJF Hangman Page, like the match might have been good, but like I don't think the story was good. I'm like very
Yeah, and I think MJF is too high above him, like character wise, for that to be good. I don't have Hangman on the same level. I think that's part of the
no,
problem.
no. So like I'm a little disappointed in that, but like you know, they're like crazy cage slash. It wasn't really Hell in the Cell, but they had this like extended cage um, like Hell in a Cell without the top, basically. That match seemed kind of crazy, right? And like, they got some stuff going on. Like, and Swerve is always good, right? Like,
Yeah, but now he's hurt.
Is he?
Yeah, like I said, he told.
Did he get hurt during that show?
I just.
Because he wrestled in that show. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Set to undergo surgery.
I just said that, Dan.
Sorry.
Jeez Louise, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he was in that match. My point being, like,
do you know what the crazy part was?
The match.
He's been dealing with this since the WWE Performance Center back in 2019.
Yeah. I mean, and maybe the
6 years.
Match, maybe they'll do something with that. I think there's a lot of potential in Wardlow if they do it right.
I agree. I've always said that. Yep.
If he could have been brought to WWE, I think it could have been good, but so I don't know. There's some things there, but I wish they would find something better with MJF. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I don't know if they ever will because I don't know if they have it, right? Like, that's the problem. So, it'll be interesting. But we shall see, sir. We shall see. So, until then, next week, same time, same place. Like, comment, subscribe. Even if you hate it, share it with your friends. Every little bit helps us in the algorithm. Every little bit helps. We're also on Twitter. This episode will be up live tomorrow on YouTube and Instagram. We're on as well. Feel free to follow there. But until next week, adios, folks. See you then.
Get wild.